Global warming. Our politicians, Labour and Coalition, treat as infallible the discredited theory of anthropogenic global warming, or as the United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres calls it, global boiling. Australia's best-known geology professor, Ian Plimer, points out that 6 of the 6 great ice ages in the history of this planet started when there was more CO2 in the air than there is now. So he asked, if high atmospheric CO2 drives global warming, how on earth could the ice ages have occurred? Both the ALP and the Coalition are committed to net zero emissions by 2050. Net zero emissions by 2050. This, of course, is unachievable, and they all know that. And if they don't know that, they are so uninformed or so foolish they shouldn't be in politics. The ALP is committed to 43% by 2030, and the Coalition to 26 to 28%. The Greens, of course, would do it all sooner. Incidentally, why are most Greens into real estate investments? I mean, Green politicians. I thought they were representing the renters and not the landlords. In any event, at least, the Coalition will end the ridiculous ban on nuclear power. The ALP strangely still endorses the ban, although they're fully behind AUKUS and the acquisition of nuclear submarines. The ALP will probably engage in scare campaigns in the coming election about the possible locations of nuclear power stations. And being totally opposed to dams, as the ALP has been since Bob Hawke, even raising existing dam walls such as Warragamba are forbidden, the ALP is effectively opposed to hydropower. There's one exception, and that's Malcolm Turnbull's delayed and increasingly expensive travesty of pumped hydro, Snowy 2. So the ALP and the LNP must think that if you burn coal or gas here, that increases global warming. But if coal is used in, say, communist China, it apparently won't affect the climate. Little wonder that the Bolshevik billionaires who run China are laughing all the way to the bank. As we say on this program, there's no significant problem in Australia which, if it weren't created by the politicians, has not been made significantly worse by them. The Emperor's New Clothes. I wonder whether children today are allowed to hear or read Hans Christian Andersen's tale about the vain emperor. The emperor was persuaded by fraudsters into believing that they would create magnificent new clothes for him that only fools could not see. Now, not wishing to be known as fools, everyone went along with this until, during a major parade, to show off his new and magnificent clothes, a child asked, "Daddy, why isn't the emperor wearing any clothes?" The politicians, and all those profiting from the global warming scam, know that the global warming theory is discredited. But such is their public commitment to it, they pretend otherwise. It's all about money, and it's all about votes. Now, it probably won't be a child who explodes this. If, as polling indicates, Donald Trump wins the United States election and returns to the White House, this time the global warming scam will surely be exposed, as he tried to do last time, certainly in relation to the United States economy, where he completely ignored and tried to leave the Paris Accords. In the meantime, in Australia, Mr. Bowen seems determined to engage in activities so damaging to this nation as to constitute what should be, in my view, an offence of serious misfeasance in public office. No wonder on Radio 2GB they call him Casanova Bowen. Public decency requires that I leave it to you to work out why they call him Casanova Bowen.